Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and we're going to be looking at a puzzle with a bit of a lie in it today, so I'm looking forward to that, although they don't always go well for me. Now, a couple of bits of news. First of all, Simon is fine. There's probably going to be another day or two of pre-recorded videos, but don't worry, he is okay. And some people wanted some reassurance, but no problems there. Now, secondly, some very exciting news. If you go to www.georgethetoad.co.uk, this is where George the Toad, of course, has created a website that we are planning to load up fairly soon as our crackingthecryptic.com website. So we're inviting you to go and have a look at it and check it out. Give George some feedback, give us some feedback, that's fine. And there's loads of pages. So there's a sort of home page which describes what it's for. There's the latest videos, a bit of information about us on Cracking the Cryptic, our apps, the setters, well, some of the setters, that's not all of them, goodness me no, but it's some of them. Solvers, so you can pick my videos or Simon's. There's a list of Sudokus that we have solved, and you can filter them by domino or thermo. I mean, it's just fascinating. There's thermo Sudokus. I mean, we've done a lot that involve thermo. Then there's a list of our hunts if you want some more content, where to go for, well, a page of our merchandise. Our books, and George has got a couple of books as well. Submissions, guidance on how to send a submission to CTC, and some frequently asked questions. So absolutely brilliant. George has, it's a labour of love for George, and we're really grateful to him. And do check it out. Give him some feedback if you possibly can. He'd be really interested. George the Toad, what a star. So that's kind of, there's also, I mean, it will guide you, but there's also our Patreon site at Patreon. Just look for Cracking the Cryptic there. We've got obviously Swipe Right. There's still a couple of days left to enter that, and next month there will be a new hunt coming out, which I will be announcing very soon, and we're really looking forward to bringing you those. They come out on the 1st of the month and last till the 20th as a competition, and there's extra content on Patreon as well. In fact, today my connections video, tomorrow a crossword video, so loads going on all the time on Patreon. And there are the aforementioned apps and merch, and of course in the links under our video you can get to SVEN'S Sudoku Pad as well. So loads going on around the channel. Very pleased to be telling you about all of that today. And a puzzle from, well, this setter gave us license to say their name however we like. It's spelled K-J-A-J-I, and it's a debut. I'm going to say Kajaji. I would normally have pronounced that K-J-A beginning Kya, but given the appearance of a second J, I'm just going to go with the most sort of most British English, most Simon version of this, Kajaji. And I'm going to do the rules of this puzzle now, because it's time to have a go at it. So, normal Sudoku rules apply. The numbers 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. What else we got? We've got thermometers now. Well, I will start by saying digits along a thermometer strictly increase from the bulb. However, exactly one thermometer is broken, and digits along it strictly decrease from the bulb. So one of these thermometers is in reverse, and we don't know which one. Now, there are cages in the grid. Digits within a cage sum to the number in the corner and contain no repeats. So 3 different digits to add to 6 there. Give it a try on that first link under this video. I will also put up a link to George's website, but it is time to say the immortal words. Let's get I just hit the wrong button. As I said, let's get cracking there and stop the video. So I've started it again. Now I'm going to hit the right button. I do this so often, it's getting painful. Let's get cracking. Okay, so we got the aforementioned 6 cage. That is going to contain 1, 2, 3, I believe. And what does that lead us to? There are no other giveaway cages, are there? I don't think so. We could start thinking about the secret when we're thinking about the killer cages. So the secret I'm going to share with you is that every row, column, and especially box in a Sudoku always adds up to the same number. We know the number straight away. It's 45, because that is the sum of the digits 1 to 9. Now, in this box, we obviously know that 29 of the 45 are in those 2 cells. So these add up to 16. It doesn't seem that helpful a sum. In this box, it's 29 again in the cages, so these add up to 16. These add up to 26. These add up to 13. These add up to 7. So there's 1 7 pair there, 1 7 pair there, and another one in this cage along with 9, 8, and 7. And that doesn't really help. I'm not even going to pencil mark that. Okay, I'm going to look at this middle box and ask the classic question, where does 1 go? Now, if all these thermometers were genuine, 1 is utterly broken out of this puzzle, because 1 can only go on the bulb of a genuine thermo. And it can never go on the middle of a thermo, and we've only got thermos that are either genuine or fully broken, so they're in reverse. So I think 1 has to be on one of these tips, and actually that's going to place the 1 in the 1, 2, 3 cage, just like that. So we now know that it's not this thermo that's broken. Yeah, so I'm going to pencil mark it. My name is sometimes given as pencil mark because I'm never afraid to put in a few candidates. Now, where does 2 go? That is the next question, and I think it's got a very simple answer. 2 doesn't go in one of those cells because only one of these thermos is broken and 1 is in its tip. 2 obviously can't go anywhere beyond there on a genuine thermo, so 2 must be on the broken thermo in the second cell. And what about 3? 3 is very similar. It's either in the broken thermo in the third cell, or it's there. So 3 is in one of those cells. And now this 7 cage cannot be 3, 4. It's either 2, 5 or 1, 6. Now the trouble is I want to then think about 4, but the options have got a bit wider. On the broken thermo, since 3 could be there, 4 could be in one of these. On the genuine thermos, 4 could actually be on that cell. And 4 on this thermo could be in one of those 2. So that question, sort of moving up through the numbers and asking where they are in box 5, has run out of usefulness, I think. Oh, we now know these add up to 5, plus the 29 is 34. These 2 add up to 11. And they don't use 2 or 3 in that 11 sum, so they're either 4, 7 or 5, 6. Now, what about this cell? It is the 4th cell of a 7-cell thermo. And I know that whether it's a broken thermo or a genuine one, because it's the 4th cell from either direction. So I don't think it can be 7, because how could you get 8 and 9 onto the thermo? So I'm going to rule out 7 from that. I see 1. Oh, hang on. First of all, 29 plus 1 is 30. These 2 add up to 15 using the secret. And they must therefore be either a 6, 9 or a 7, 8 pair. I am thinking about pencil marking this thermo, although that might be a bit of a hodgepodge. But first of all, I've just noticed something here. Because there's 11 in that cage, these 2 can't add up to, sorry, they must add up to more than 3. It's not, well, I don't know. I was going to say it's not very interesting. Actually, it's not bad. Yeah, the reason I'm saying they can't add up to exactly 3 and be the minimum 1, 2 is because then these 5 cells would add up to 14. But the minimum sum for 5 cells that have different digits in is 15. That is the 5th triangular number, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So basically, all that means, and I thought this was off-putting at first, is that this can't be a 2. It doesn't change what the candidates for this cell at all. However, that does change the candidates for the rest of the thermo. And what that does is mean this cell can't be a 3 anymore. So now one of these thermos has a 3 in the 3rd position of the broken thermo. 3 couldn't be there in the genuine one, or there obviously in a genuine one. So one of these is stacked 1, 2, 3 on top of each other, and it's the broken one. I'm just seeing if that has consequences. Not obviously, but it's very interesting. Now, let's think about this one. So if this was genuine and started from this end, you could have 2 or 3 there. It's a 7-cell thermo, so it originally had 2 degrees of freedom. It could only be 2 or 3, 3 or 4, 4 or 5, 5 or 6, 6 or 7, 7 or 8, 8 or 9. And if it goes the other way, well, then we know it begins 1, 2, 3, because we've just discovered that whichever thermo is broken is stacked 1, 2, 3. Then that can be 4, 5 or 6. That can be 5, 6 or 7. That can be 6, 7 or 8, and that can be 7, 8 or 9. Now that's a lot of pencil marking up here, but it's considerably less pencil marking here. Oh, I'm just noticing that the 2 in one of those cells combined with 2 there means one of these 3 is a 2. Doesn't do anything, does it? I can't see what that does. I want to think about these candidates now. Something's happening in this puzzle. I can't quite work out what it is. I hope I'm not having a major malfunction like the puzzle title. 2 and 3. 3 has to be in one of those cells. If that's a 3, that's a 4. Okay. It was useless earlier to ask where 4 goes in this box. I worked that out. But now I'm going to go back to the same question. I hope it's not an Einsteinian moment of doing the same thing and expecting a different result. But I think circumstances have changed. Where is 4 in this box now? If that goes 1, 2, 3, it's obviously not there. We've pencil marked it out of those cells. So if this is the broken thermo, 4 is definitely here. If this is the broken thermo, though, this goes 1, 2, 3. And the furthest that 4 could go on this supposedly genuine thermo is there. So I think 4 is now definitely in one of those 2 cells in box 5. And that is not a 4. And that means that if we're increasing, this can't be a 5. This can't be a 6 anymore. This can't be a 7. And if we're going the other way, what have we got? 2 or 3, 3 or 4, 4 or 5. That hasn't really changed anything. But 4 not being in those cells, right, now 3 and 4 in box 5 are confined to those 3. This digit can't be from 3 or 4. This is good. This is good because this pair, remember when we did the secret on this box, these added up to 38, so that's another 7 pair, just as this is. But this can't have 3 or 4 in this cell. So this 7 pair is also 1, 6 or 2, 5, and that's now a quad of 1, 6, 2, 5. And 3, this cage is 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, with 3 in that pair. And this is a 1 6 or 2 5 pair. Right, where's 5 in this row? That's a lovely question, and I think I've got the answer. I mean, the pencil marking has ruled it out of those cells. We've just established it's not there. This we haven't pencil marked, but can this be 5? If this is a broken thermo, it's 1. And if it's a genuine thermo, it's the 6th digit on it. That can never be 5, and I've found 5 in row 6. Now, these two added up to 11, so that's a definite 6. And this is not 6, that's not 7, that's not 8. I still don't know if this thermo's broken or genuine. But I do know that it doesn't have another 6 on it. So if this is genuine, that goes 7, 8, 9. So this is a definite stack of either 7, 8, 9 or 1, 2, 3. Now, what about this? Yes, a 15 cage without a 6 in it is a 7, 8 pair. This is a 1, 4, 9 triple. The 7, 8 pair hasn't resolved this. Oh, that can't be a 5 by Sudoku. This can't be a 6, and these two added up to 15, so that can't be a 9. That now can't be 4, and that can't be 3 anymore. This either definitely goes 2, 3, 4, or 7, 8, 9. 6 is looking along this row, of course. Now that's a 6. That's a 1, because this is a de facto 7 cage. This is a 2, 5 cage now. That can't be 5 or 6. That's a 4. And this is a genuine thermo, so I can write 3 there and 1 or 2 in the bulb. I'm going to have a look at that cage in a moment. This can't be 6 by Sudoku. Okay, that didn't go any further. Yes, it did. 1 and 4 are looking at that cell. That's a 9. Now there's a 1, 4 here. There's no 4 there. 2, 3, 5, 4, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I still don't know which is the lying thermo. Right, I said I would have a look at the 11 cage. So, because of this cell, the 11 cage can't have 1 and 2 in it. But because it can't have 3 in it, it must have either 1 or 2. And it's quite limited. If it's got a 2, it is 2, 4, 5. If it's got a 1, it's not allowed 2 or 3 then, and it is 1, 4, 6. 1, 4, 6 will not work because those 4 cells would all be from 1, 4, 6 in the same column. That's impossible. So this 11 cage has become the key to the puzzle, I think. That's a 2, 4, 5 cage. This is a 1 on the bulb. I clearly spoke much too soon because I'm not sure that resolves anything else. 2, 5, 1, 4, 6, 9. This digit is 3, 7, or 8. It's 3 in the eventuality this thermo's broken. It can never be 8 because it's too central on the thermo. So that's 3 or 7. Then we get 8 and 7 here. That 7 makes this a 5 and takes 7 out of these cells. Now 7 must be in those cells and not there. 7, 1, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 5, 4 and a 3, 7 pair. 6 has to be in one of those. Can this be 6? This can never be 6. That's got to be right. This can't be 6 on a broken thermo. And on a genuine thermo, it would have to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's not happening for a variety of reasons. So that's the only place for 6 in the central box. I keep doing things that I think are going to bust this wide open. And they do nothing of the sort. This 9 cage can't be 3, 6 and it can't be 1, 8. If it was 4, 5, both of those cells would be 2. So this is a 2, 7 pair. No 2 there. 2 in box 1 is there. That's a 5 and a 2. That's 8 or 9. That's 8 or 9 in the column. Now, 32. These added up to 13. and that's already 8 or 9. If that's a 9, this is a 1-3 pair. If that's an 8, this is a 1-4 pair, since it can't have a 2 in. So there's definitely a 1 here. I haven't got a 5 in column 1, so I can whack that in there. I don't know, this is going to involve a 6. And yeah, I don't know. So it really is time to find out which is the genuine thermo. How am I going to do that? I don't really feel the use of the 15 and 14 cage there. Right. Let's look at the or 4, 5, 6 maybe. Where? Oh, 5 has just got forced into this cage. That might be interesting. Anything else forced into it? I think 1 has to be in a 19 cage because the digits in it otherwise would be at least 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which would add to 20. So we've got 6 in it so far. We need another 13. Ooh, are we going to have to use a 2? Could it be 1, 3, 4, 5, 6? It could. That adds up to the right number. Okay, I'm not quite seeing how to resolve that. Somehow this cage is resolved. Come on, this box. Oh no, hang on, 2 is looking at that cell. There we go. Sorry if you were shouting that at the screen. That's what you're here for, as somebody said the other day. Right, so this was the broken thermo. We found it. And this is the genuine one, which has not actually been very helpful by putting 7, 8, 9 on the end. I mean, I could still pencil mark those, but they're not going to be great. Let's hope that what we've done does the business. Right, 7 comes out of there and 8 out of there. That was a pair. 1 is out of those digits. 1, 3, 7. I was going to say that was an 8, 9 pair in the row, but that's not necessarily true. 9 there has made that into 8 and that into 9. Now, that makes that a definite 1, 3 pair. This is going to be 4, 6, 8, and we will find that these do add up successfully to 23 now. 1, 3, 5, so that's not 3, and that is. That's a 6, 7, 8, 9 quad, and that's 4. And this is, oh, that's become a 9. This is a 7. That is a known digit as well, which is a 9. Yes, okay, that's all hanging together. Now, let's carry that across somehow. The 9 going across, not that helpful, puts a 9 into one of those. 7 is ruled out from there. This cage again, has anything else been forced into it? No, not particularly. These haven't been resolved. Oh, it's being naughty. Okay, there's either an 8, because of this 8, 9 pair, there is an 8 or a 9 in the 15 cage. Now, if there's no 1 in it, so if there's a 9 in it, it's 9, 2, 4. And the 9 would be here. And that would be 2 and 4. If there's an 8 in it, though, it could be 8, 2, 5. Or not, or 8, 3, 4. That's not helpful. No, it's not. I was going to say, well, there's no 7 in it, but that puts 7 in one of those 2 cells, and that's not entirely helpful. Right, I am going to finally pencil mark this. That is 6, 5, 4, or that's all. Can't be 3. This is 5, 4, or 3, and that can't be 2, but this is 1, 2, 3, or 4. And this is the reason I wasn't pencil marking it. That hasn't obviously given me anything that I can see. 3, 2, 1. This digit is 2, 3, 4, or 6. 5, 9, 1. Oh, we've got 2 and 3 to place in this row. That is a big deal. Look, 2 and 3 in row 7 have to be in those two cells because that one sees a 2, 3 pair. Now we've got an 8, 9 pair down here, and we've got a 2 or 3 in the cage. So this digit becomes either a 4 if it's 9, 2, 4, or if it's 8, 3, 4, or a 5 if it's 8, 2, 5. And that 8, 9 pair, what's that doing for me? 8, 9, 1. I knew already 7's in one of those cells. There's either a 7 or a 6 in this cage. Oh, come on, puzzle. Oh, is there a 9 in this cage? There you go. That's a good question. And the answer is no. There is no 9 in this cage because we know there's a 5 in it. And 9 would need 1, 2, 3, 4 to be its companions. So that's a 9, that's an 8, that's a 9, that's not 8. Now, these three, we know their sum, it is 17. I'm adding 19 and 9 and deducting from 45. 17, which could go 7, 2, 8, or if that was a 3, it would be 3, 8, 6. I hope my maths is right. I think it is. And I don't think you can put a 4 in. Well, you can't put a 4 in that cell, basically, because these two would have to add to 13, and they're not going to. So the 4 in the row is there. Now I can finish that cage, 4, 6, 8. Now I can use that to do something. Apparently not. This cage now definitely contains a 4 in one of those cells. And either a 2 or 3. Well, one of 2 or 3 and one of something else. Sorry I'm being a bit vague. I just keep on not quite seeing the final step here. That digit is not a 9, so that's the 9 in the box. This digit, in fact, is a 2 or an 8, just by elimination. 9, 3, 2, 1. This is still a very unresolved thermo for me. That can't be 8. That's been available for a little while. 9, 8, 2. So I'm probably going to have to ask more row questions. 1, 3, 9, 7, 8 in this row is in one of those two. Oh, it's not. I'm sure this isn't as difficult as I'm making it. 6 seems to have to be in one of those cells, but in this, no. 6 could be there. That's quite wrong. Yeah, sorry, that was nearly plunging into error at a bad stage in the puzzle. Is there is it this one? Those two add up to 7. I know that, obviously. Does that mean there's another pair of digits adding up to 7 here? I think it does. Oh yes, those two were going to add up to 15. That was the deduction from 45. Ah, maybe that's a big deal. Right, with those two adding up to 15, and we know that this group added up to 17. That's a 2. That's 3. That's 4. That fixes 1 and 4. Let's get rid of the pencil marking here. 9, 2, 7, 8. We've got 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 to place. That's a naked 5. That's the sort of thing I like to spot. That is 1 or 3, so that's 2. That is a naked 2. Excellent, because of the 1, 3 pair. Now, this is 7 and 5. That box is finished. Box 6 is also finished. How am I going to do in box 3? I've got, yes, 3 and 5 in column 8, 6 and 4 in column 9. That's 1 or 3. This is a 4-6 pair. We are very close now. 3, 2 come out of the bulb. That can't be 5 anymore, so I've got a 4-6 pair. Only one place for 2 in the row. That's how I should have been looking at that, but it's very hard to be a machine. And I haven't managed it yet. 9, 3, 2, 1, 5. Right. Still, this thermo won't give up its secrets. 8 is in one of those. 9, 8, 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Am I down to pencil marking everything, or can I use something going on at the bottom? I don't know. This is 3. I'm pencil marking now. 7, 8. 2, 1, 8, 9, 3, 5, 4, 6, 7, 9, 2, 3, 1, 5. Now, how's that actually going to help, if at all? The 1 in the top row is in one of those cells. The 3 is in one of those. Oh, maybe I could rule out, yeah, if that was a 4, this would go 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, well, it was a bit more complicated than I was thinking, but that would go 4, 5, 6. Okay, and it would break that cell. So this is a 1. It's not more complicated, I just hadn't seen why it was easier. Now, this can't, yeah, that 1 has made that a 3. That gets us a 3 in the corner. Oh, Christmas 3, oh, Christmas 3. Da 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 da. That's a 4, 6 pair. This is 5. The thermo is now complete and tells us what's going on in the rest of the puzzle. And I think now we can actually just finish off. 9, 8, 1, 5, 2. 6, 2, 3, 1, 9. Well, I assumed we could. 7, 8 pair there. I'm still finding little pairs and things. That's not a 6. That's become not a 5. There we go. So, I mean, I really should be just better at Sudoku at this point, shouldn't I? 4 there. 8 and a 7. That's nice. No major malfunction in the puzzle. It's a very good puzzle. Great fun. And thanks to Kajaji for bringing that to us. And great to have you with us as always. There'll be 2 more videos tomorrow, and we hope you'll be back with us for those. Bye for now.